You gotta always love Big Papa.
You gotta always remember when there's just one element of Rosenberg that he doesn't have the street element. He doesn't know what it is to drive on 125th Street after Biggie died playing that. You always miss that one.
Of course I do. That's why you're on. That's why we do the podcast together. Because you don't know what the fuck it's like to drive down the streets of Chevy Chase, Maryland after Biggie died. Because it was real for us too. It just was a different look, but I felt it the same way in my own way.
I will never forget
Chase talking about the death of rapper Christopher Wallace.
Exactly.
Rapper Christopher Wallace.
Do you know how I found out Biggie died? I found out that Biggie died confirmed, living in Chevy Chase at my parents' house, about to go to a basketball game, a rec league game. I called WTOP. This is so pre-internet. I called a radio station that does news, and I was like, "Excuse me, have you guys reported that a rapper named Biggie Smalls died?" And they were like, and they confirmed it for me. That's how I got the information.
Yo, can I tell you?
Seems so crazy.
Wow.
Can I tell you my story?
How did you find out?
Oh boy! All right, so right around the time when Life After Death was just about to come out, it was not all good between the Roots and Biggie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You remember that?
Because you thought he dissed you and he didn't.
Well, no. We always knew he was saying the gooch. And we actually have evidence. We did a documentary once where we were at the radio station together. It's like, yo, man, niggas say I said Invincible Ruly like the Root. No, man, the Goots, different strokes. They ain't lyrical, but you know what I was talking about, right? Like, we was always good. Biggie was like our biggest champion. Like, when he did Eagle Trip magazine, he championed us and J-Roo higher than anyone. Like, oh, no. Like, he put Brooklyn on to the Roots.
Okay, but things have
so
gone
we
left.
did this What They Do video. And, you know, it's sort of like a sarcastic look at what was then becoming champagne culture.
Right.
Right. So we kind of told the director, like... Yo,
Chris Rock did the same thing later on. Champagne Room.
Exactly.
It happened.
The connection. Anyway, so...
Gerald Levert's dead.
Biggie's
dead.
Way to just...
Damn, Chris.
Just to down it. Anyway, so... We just assumed, like, we told the director, like, we don't want to do, like, a direct reference to someone's video. We just talking about the impending lurking of this new... At the time, it seemed like, you know, the new
jiggy,
apartheid.
the jiggy,
yes, the have-nots versus the haves.
Yeah.
So we didn't know, based on the way the set looked, we didn't know that we were doing a direct reference to One More Chance.
Right.
Oh.
So when we saw the final cut, like, we're always in Europe, so they're like, you know, we're like, okay, well, you know, let's see the final cut. They showed it to us, and I was like, oh, damn. Like, but it was too late. Like, we didn't have the power to be like, Kanye, like, scrap my video, like, do it again, take this shit. And we was just like, oh, well.
Guess we got to put that out.
And we did, and of course, he caught feelings. So he said in the source, like, you know, like, my feelings just hurt. Like, I was a fan of them niggas. I put Brooklyn on to them. I was a fan. I feel disrespected. But, you know, I'm gonna lay back. But, you know, when my niggas, though, you know, might see them niggas, like the one with the chew stick in his mouth, like, he may come up and, like, he said some shit like that. So the source hits me up.
Oh, I love hip hop, the good old days.
The source hits me up on March 8th to do a quote. And I was like, well, I said, I don't want to do a quote. Can I do an op-ed? You know, because I really want to explain the position without...
You've always been the same, haven't you?
The first rapper that wanted to
do an op-ed?
Yeah, I said, let me do it.
And no, he wasn't anybody popping back then.
Yeah. Plus, no one at the source knew what an op-ed was. You had to explain to them what an op-ed was.
Well, that's interesting.
I explained. I said, let me do an op-ed. Because what I wanted to do... What I wanted to do was kind of explain the dangers. I mean, 96, 97 was... New York was becoming divided from the haves and the have-nots. And I wrote this beautiful manifesto. It was like 1,000 pages. I faxed it to the source. And literally, I called the source. It took me like 10 hours to do it. Proofread it. It was great. Called the source and said, okay, I'm ready to send the response to Biggie thing, op-ed. And they're like, oh, God, you didn't hear what happened, did you?
Holy shit.
And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, Biggie's dead. And that killed me. Like, that.
Yeah, you guys always had to deal with the fact that you never made it completely right.
I never made it right. So then cut to...
He knows now.
Cut to 3 months later, I'm at SOB's with Tip at Lyricist Lounge. Now, you're hip hop heads. You have the first most 12-inch, right? Mm-hmm. The Universal Magnetic B-Boy.
If you've been high, you can hear. Yeah.
Right, where he's holding that B-Boy freeze.
That's at SOB's, that it?
All right. That freeze came at the tail end of Goodnight when he did an acapella version of Children's Story.
Okay.
Like, most couldn't have been more on fire at this moment. Mm-hmm. Every line he said in Children's Story was like, yo, like the audience was going out their mind. And me myself, I was caught up in it. I was like, yeah. Now, you know what the subject of Children's Story is.
It's dissing Puff and all
right. So I'm like going off like, yeah. And he said, this is funny, don't you laugh? No, this so good cast. Good night. And he does that freeze. And he's like, yeah, shit, oh my God. And then I look to the right, and it's Puffy and like 15 dudes dressed in black. And I was like, fuck, I'm dead.
What? They came through SOBs?
Tip invited Puff to see if he wanted to sign Mos. I have no idea that Mos was going to do this shit. So I'm there like, yeah. And then like Puff is dressed in the blackest of the black, like Hitman Mafia black with 15 dudes. Just like in glasses, look like Wesley Snipes and Blade.
And you turned to Puff and you fucking poured your drink on his head.
And I was like, I literally thought, I said, oh damn, I just killed the Roots, because then I'm gonna get my ass beat by 15 motherfuckers.
Look terrible. Yeah.
We wound up having the strangest summit meeting. Like an hour later, Tip was like, yo, Puff would have a meeting in the back. Me, Mos.
You go downstairs?
It was me, Mos. No, it wasn't at SOBs. It was at Wetlands. So a little dinky, and you know,
I never made it to Wetland.
Like Puff preached to me and Mos.
I didn't live here then. I was a kid.
Puff preached to me and Mos like we was his children. Like, let me just tell you something about my life. This is what I do. This is how I live. My man loved y'all. Like we just sat there, and then 45 minutes later, I guess it was all good. We didn't get our asses beat. But.
Still pretty much every conversation with Puff, by the way.
You just summarized every...
Really?
Let me tell you about my life, homeboy.
All right, now here's what I want to
Let me tell you about my eggs.
Let's get
Fabergé.
So we got to mention, we can't let this end without talking about CB4. I mean, that's a super important movie in the life of a rap fan. That was...
My favorite part of CB4 is in the old folks home. Whose idea was to do a ragtime version of Rapper's Delight?
Me.
I said, whoever thought of this.
Straight out of Low Cash.
You did? You have writer's cradits in these streets.
That's you and Daddy-O, right?
No, Daddy-O raps it. I wrote Straight Out of Low Cash.
He rapped it in the actual movie, the version that's used in the movie?
Yeah.
I reference CB4 in one way all the time. It comes up all the time. Cipha, do you remember this? That when we went to Young Jeezy, the first time I saw Jeezy, I was backstage with Cipha, and I'm looking around, and I was like, this place is like a fucking CB4 concert. Because everyone's like, it's like they're playing, you can't believe it's that real.
Jeezy is like gangsterdom.
Yeah, it's gangsterdom in real life, and I couldn't fucking believe it. Did rappers just fucking love that movie? Did everyone get it?
Everybody got it. Everybody loved it. It's like one of those movies you play on a tour bus. You know?
You get mad at me if I tell you I never saw CB4?
Wow.
Sorry.
That's expected. I knew it was coming.
Tang?
In my head, I was like 3,
Pootie Tang?
2.
Pootie Tang, yeah, I love Pootie Tang. Okay. I love Pootie Tang.
All right, well, I'm going to be an
Do you have older brothers?
No.
That's it.
Yeah.
You never had the trickle down economics
all my cousins are girls.
I get it.
Yeah.
Guys, well,
I have no trickle down.
I'm not.
You know, I got into hip hop when I moved to Long Island from the Bronx, and just try to find something relatable.
So wait, how'd you get in the arsonist?
Huh?
How did you get in the arsonist if
when I worked at Fat Pete's, I was living in Long Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we forgot about this too.
I can't hear it. What's happening?
Although didn't you?
Was this one take?
No, this is Kanye West is a genius. Yo, man.
Although you're dissing my friend on this, aren't you?
Kanye.
This is about Amber, isn't it?
Yeah.
How's she
I
feel?
have no idea. But
don't worry, I'm not gonna fight you.
I'm gonna say I was in the booth for about 2 hours.
Oh my God! I thought it was just like a one take.
No, man, he was just throwing shit at me and try this, try that, try this. Come out here, let's listen to it again.
So they put it all together. They snapped and
he snapped it all together. Called me about 2 weeks later.
Cut and pasted all that.
So he just knew he liked your voice for it, like aesthetically. He just liked the idea of it.
He kind of just, yo, man.
It sounds like a Chris Rock.
It does.
Bit,
because it does. It works for you.
he just
That's
kept
something Chris
feeding
Rock
me.
would say.
He
Won't
just kept
call Chris
feeding
Rock.
me with ideas, and I would just run with it. And
She had no idea that you were just falling down the rabbit hole of not destroying someone's life. Well, okay, you two are friends.
She turned out fine.
What was her reaction to it?
I've never talked to her about that song specifically.
He doesn't.
it's
talk
a
about
great
anything.
song. I don't see if it. I don't see.
I don't-
if it's
I don't think she
addictive.
should
But
spend
it's
much.
specifically about.
I think
Yeah, but it's like, it's a great song.
right. I mean, that album.
I
Is,
mean, it applies to. We've all had that relationship. We could all.
But we were all listening
Go-
to it like
Yo,
the
I
moment
was-
that shit came out. I was staring at the radio again, like War of the Worlds. Like we just stood with our mouths open, like yo.
See, but the thing is, I had already seen by the time that happened, I'd already seen Kanye nearly weep on stage during 808s and Heartbreak over her. So like, I get it. It's a relationship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people have
we all
people
got
have feelings. They broke up. Shit happens. But I did tell her because I knew that she's fine with him. But whatever. I said I just want you to know you're my friend for life. I love you. I care about you. If I hear I'm so appalled, I'm going to get excited every time. I cannot stop. I can't pretend if I'm next to you. I'm not going to be able to be like, Kanye. I am going to get excited.
Oh, it's the best.
Dark Twisted Fantasy is so
It's
fucking
the
good.
best record ever.
You think it's number one?
I think it's better than Thriller
album?
and Purple Rain.
This is his
and,
favorite
like,
album.
It's my
Dark
favorite.
Twisted Fantasy is your favorite album.
Dark Twisted
Not even a
Fantasy.
hip-hop record.
It's the best hip hop
Album.
record ever. It's the best album of the last 50
These
years.
guys they're making a statement.
It's a strong statement.
I
but
mean,
I
it's an
gotta say-
argument. What's your argument?
What's better?
Is it your? Is it,
No, what's your argument? Your evidence was
I mean-
everyone's on it.
Everyone's
And they
on
fit
it.
in
It's got something for everybody, man. It's like an old time. It's like one of those old time records. Like one of those Quincy Jones records that got a little something for everybody, man. Jay's on it. Jay's amazing. Jay's better on that record than his last 3 albums.
I
Okay?
think it's a strong case too.
You know, he just is. Nicki's better
So
on
wait,
it than anything she's done.
Did
Rick
you
Ross
you
is
like the Monster verse?
ridiculous.
You like Jay's Monster verse?
I like Jay's Monster verse.
I'm asking a question.
No.
He's setting you
it's
up.
It's one of the rare times you see somebody actually do a better verse than Jay.
But
It's
that's
not
the
that-
thing.
It's not that you don't like Jay's Monster verse. It's like, oh shit.
But I love Nicki's
Nicki
verse.
Minaj
I'm playing it now. It has to happen.
is just ridiculous.
We have to talk about.
I'm
Scythe, do you
getting
want to
that
tell?
tattoo.
I was there.
Do you want to tell Chris Rock about your
I
feelings?
was there for that.
What?
I was there. I was there for the Dark Fantasy. I was there for Monster. I was
what,
around.
recording?
I was just hanging.
In Hawaii.
No, I'm saying
No,
you were there
no.
when they
It
were
was
recording.
at Electric Ladyland.
Oh, this is okay back here. Scythe, you have very strong feelings that we'll get to about the Monsterverse.
So appalled. It's better than everything.
I always want when I play this song out. I always want people to react to it more, and they don't. But it's one of my
It
favorite
doesn't
songs.
matter. It's for the car. It's not
it's for the car,
It's
you're right.
not for the club.
My one qualm, and I only understood this once I saw the Yeezus tour.
Best tour ever.
It's for me. What's frustrating
Yeah,
about
I said
it
it.
is
You are,
I have to take.
you are a Kanye stan. That is coming out here on this podcast.
I like Kanye.
That's a headline.
I'm like, you know.
You haven't you added him to the when I said J and M number one of all time. You added Kanye. You said no Kanye. Now you're saying greatest album of all time.
Kanye's better than Eminem.
Yes,
in terms
I
of
agree.
greatness,
I agree.
Kanye's better than Eminem.
but not as an MC, a lyrical MC.
So you're only thinking technically.
You're
Well, of
just
course,
thinking.
in
You're
this
just
case.
thinking technically. You're thinking about a computer printout that
yes,
you read.
that's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about.
The whole
I'm
thing.
in the club
Yes.
right now.
I agree.
And Kanye West and Eminem are getting ready to rap.
You're getting more excited for Kanye. 100%
And
agree.
your girl's getting more excited for Kanye.
No Eminem
everyone-
plays in the club, yo.
No Eminem plays in a club.
That's I mean, you gotta
That's
count
one of
that
my
factor,
regrets.
yo.
That's one of my regrets. I
You
can
gotta
never bump
count that,
him in the
yo.
club.
You can't. He doesn't have.
He's got,
Yeah, that has to be counted.
It
in
does.
greatness.
I agree. It's
My
my
frustration-
Eminem is in fucking incredible. Or what'd you say earlier? Fucking incredible.
Yeah.
But he don't play it like that's a major element of hip hop.
It is.
3 times in my life, I've had to pay for broken speakers, all at the hands of Kanye West. I hate the way his bass mixes are inconsiderate.
Of your speakers.
all of the lights.
No. This is it's inconsiderate.
All the Lights is my least favorite song on the album by miles.
Because you-
miles.
production of All the Lights.
It's
is
a-
ridiculous.
You gotta come out of DJ mode. You gotta play the whole album in your car.
Yeah, no, I have.
Listening
You know what I'm
mode,
saying?
it's a masterpiece.
But it's
but it
when you
frustrates
listen
me.
to it as a radio single, and we get tired of it.
And it got leaked, and so we played it on the radio. I was like,
right. But
and
you gotta take away all that. Like a person buying an album, all the lights sounds massive, yo, and what he's saying.
But I still think when I go through it, it's my least favorite one on an album that I love. I mean, this is like
as
choosing,
a great one-liner. MJ go on, our nigga
dead. I know, great line. But I don't like it more than Lost in the World. I don't like it more than Blame Game. I don't like it more than So Appalled. Dark Fantasy, the first song is fucking just insanity. That the start of the fact that the album starts with Nicki just talking, like it's fucking top to bottom. That album, you can make a case. It's right there. Does Jay have a better album than Dark Twisted Fantasy?
No.
Reasonable Doubt's more boring than Dark Twisted Fantasy. I love it.
Here's the thing.
Jay's got better rhymes, yeah.
Right, but not better complete albums. The whole thing.
No.
I will never disconnect.
Underrated Jay album.
I won't disconnect Blueprint from 911, and it's just that because that's all I had on 911. Like 911 went down, and then we were trapped in New York.
By the way, you're the only person on earth who calls 911
911, bro.
Underrated Jay
album. 911, bro.
American Gangster,
bro.
From Philly over here.
We're gonna help you out.
On 9/11, when I was like, I have specific memories of. That's why Blueprint is a sentimental favorite. Right. So I don't have sentimental memories with Dark Twisted Fantasy, even though I acknowledge that is Kanye West.
What was it? What were you saying? The
Magnum
underrated
opus.
Jay-Z album.
American Gangster is the most underrated Jay-Z album.
I love American Gangster. You love it, right?
No.
Hate it.
I don't hate it.
Jay-Z always says, I don't write nothing. He always says, I come up with it in my head.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. He wrote Reasonable Doubt and he wrote American Gangster. Like,
it's a theme. There's a theme.
Like pieces of paper were crumbled up and I'm going back and we're trying this again.
So you feel American Gangster is Jay-Z's most underrated album?
Rhymes are just ridiculous.
The beats to me are a little
I love this one.
It's the most underrated Jay-Z record.
I need beats first.
I love that Just Blaze beat that closes the record.
I'm sorry.
The very last song on American Gang. Oh, American Gang. The title track.
Oh, the one with Nas. What's that one?
Oh,
which one is Nas? Not Black Republic.
Yeah, I think Flex put like 27 bombs on this when I heard.
Oh, I hate this song.
Why?
Let that breathe.
Let the bitch breathe.
This don't make you just want to murder a chicken.
I'll say something that people want to hear. The Jay-Z and Nas collaborations are some of the biggest letdowns in hip-hop history.
Black Republican?
I don't like Black Republican.
I've never heard it.
You never heard Black Republican?
I knew it was going to let me down. Oh, don't play it.
You know what? It's not Republican.
You gotta always love Big Papa.
You gotta always remember when there's just one element of Rosenberg that he doesn't have the street element. He doesn't know what it is to drive on 125th Street after Biggie died playing that. You always miss that one.
Of course I do. That's why we do the podcast together. Because you don't know what the fuck it's like to drive down the streets of Chevy Chase, Maryland after Biggie died. Because it was real for us too. It just was a different look, but I felt it the same way in my own way.
I will never forget.
No.
Oh boy. All right. So right around the time when Life After Death was just about to come out, it was not all good between the Roots and Biggie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You remember that?
Because you thought he dissed you and he didn't.
Well, no. We always knew he was saying the gooch. And we actually have evidence. We did a documentary once where we were at the radio station together. It's like, yo, man, niggas said I said Invincible really like the Root. No, man, the Goose, different strokes. They ain't lyrical, but you know what I'm
talking about. The death of rapper Christopher Wallace.
Exactly.
Rapper Christopher Wallace.
Do you know how I found out Biggie died? I found out that Biggie died confirmed, living in Chevy Chase at my parents' house, about to go to a basketball game, a rec league game. I called WTOP. This is so pre-internet. I called a radio station that does news, and I was like, excuse me, have you guys reported that a rapper named Biggie Smalls died? And they were like, and they confirmed it for me. That's how I got the information.
Yo, can I tell you?
Seems so crazy.
Wow.
Can I tell you my story?
How did you find it?
Talking about right. Like we was always good. Biggie was like our biggest champion. Like when he did Eagle Trip magazine, he championed us and J-Rue higher than anyone. Like, oh no. Like he put Brooklyn on to the Roots.
Okay, but things have
so
gone
we
left.
did this What They Do video. And you know, it's sort of like a sarcastic look at what was then becoming champagne culture.
Right.
So we kind of told the director, like, yo,
Chris Rock did the same thing later on. Champagne Room.
Exactly.
It happened.
The connection. Anyway, so
Gerald Levert's dead.
we can
Biggie's dead.
way to just
damn, Chris.
Just to down it. Anyway, so we just assumed, like, we told the director, like, we don't want to do like a direct reference to someone's video. We just talking about the impending lurking of this new. At the time, it seemed like, the new apartheid.
The jiggy,
yes, the have-nots versus the haves.
Yeah.
So we didn't know